Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email mary@marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mary D. Show. Wow, I don't know where you guys are in the world. It's over 100 here. Let me see. Yep, it's at 98. I don't know where you are, but it's hot. I know. We just before I even welcome you to the show. So I'd like to first welcome our live viewers. Hi, live viewers, and welcome our replay viewers. Hi, replay viewers. Welcome to the Mary D. Show. And I also want to say welcome to our executive producer, Oliver Welch. Hi, babe. He's in the background, as you know, always watching and really watching, critiquing, being a part of the show. And he will be, as you know, for Christmas, Oliver comes in front of the camera. I think this year I may even interview Oliver. Wouldn't that be something? Because you know he's real quiet. Those of you guys that know Oliver, he's a total opposite of me. I don't know if we were the same. I don't think it would work. I think it works because we are opposites. I think that has something to do with it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I like to, as I said, welcome you to the show, but I definitely want to, I'm seeing the comments come in before we even get the show is going today. First, let me tell you who we have today. I'm going to read you the bio because when I tell you we have a guest today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a gentleman. He's a writer. He's an author. He's a poet. He is a director. He has plays throughout LA. When I tell you this man is a powerful artist, powerful. So I'm going to read you the bio so you get an idea of who's in the room because he's coming to the stage since after I read the bio. Okay. Our guest today, Raymond D. Goode. He was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. Raymond Goode graduated from Meadowbrook High School in 1996. At this time, Raymond Goode was overwhelmed by the need to serve others, which continued to shape his life until today. In an attempt to placate his need, he enlisted in the Navy after his time with the Army. Despite 7 years of military and civic service, a deep-seated desire to serve still flowed within him. Raymond dedicated 2 years of his young life to the public by serving the state of Virginia in the Bon Air Juvenile Correction Center in Bon Air, Virginia. This background in service and interactions with troubled youth prompted his transition to qualified mental health professional, serving multiple organizations in a variety of positions so that he could teach youth to believe, quote unquote, believe, so that they will achieve. And this quotes and all, both of those. The most recent steps of his dedicated journey have led him to becoming an author. Raymond's earliest writings consisted of love letters as well as an autobiographical analysis of his then relationship along the way, described by those closest to him as a chameleon due to his ability to adapt and change. Raymond is dedicated to giving all of himself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to the reader. In 2010, he eschewed all of his worldly possessions, becoming homeless in order to become a slave to his art. his passion, his muse, so that he may produce his best work. Above all, he is an idealist. In love with love. In the author's words, love is its rarest form, is accepting, loving, and being yourself completely before loving someone else. The epitome of love is a rarity in itself, is Raymond Goode. Ladies and gentlemen, I am bringing to the stage the one and only Raymond Goode. Oh, Raymond,
Greetings. Hello.
how are you?
Oh, blessed and highly favored. Just amazing. Happy to be on Mary D. Wells' show, talking to you and your audience and fans. Happy to be here today.
Well, I can tell you, we are happy to have you too. I know you are doing some wonderful work. I mean, and it's passionate work, and I could tell it's full of, like you said, full of love. Your books, your writings, just everything. Um, well, the one thing I'm going to be honest with you, the question I have when you said you've given away all your worldly possessions because of the art, that just knocked me over. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you? So you intentionally decide to become homeless?
Yes. Well,
So,
the Lord showed me a path after I went through my depression and suicidal phase, and that's the path that He put me on. And yeah, so intentionally, yes.
wow, you don't hear that every day. That's for sure. Usually people say, "Well, I lost my job," or those kind of things.
Yeah,
But,
I
mhm.
and I had to learn that people make the comment all the time. When one door closes, another door opens. For
Yes.
me, I learned that if you slam that door shut on your own, another one will open up faster than you think.
Wow, that's it. I've never heard that one. Wow, 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 wow. Well, I don't know that you slammed. I think because you were led. That's a difference. That and I went. And many people in the audience know my story, but I really was led to retire. It wasn't like I didn't have all my ducks in a row, none of that. But I knew that there was a calling. And my calling when I went on a 3-day fast, and I heard two words: trust me. That's all I've ever heard. Trust me. And I remember that was in 2012.
Okay,
But at
okay.
the same time, I was like, okay, is that me saying it? Is that God saying it? What, you don't know what to believe. But that's all I heard was trust me. No, I'm serious. Because you think it's like, well, maybe I said that. But I'm thinking, I've never said trust me. It's not like, because you start thinking, am I losing my mind? You don't know. I'm serious. I'm just like, but this is what I realized. Evidently, it was the Lord now that I look back. But at the time, I didn't know. I don't know that I knew the Lord's voice.
Right.
Didn't know. But it was truly a still small voice. And if had I not been on that fast, I probably would have missed it. But I was truly seeking God during that time too. I was worried, scared, didn't know, should I retire, should I not retire? And then to retire, I didn't have the answer what was I gonna do after I retired. I had no clue. And it took about a few years before I would ever write. But were you writing while you were working, or what was your journey?
I tell you, when I was going through my depression, suicidal phase,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really at my lowest, and the way my brain works, like once I really think about doing something, 99% of the times I'm going to do it. So I decided that I had to write suicide letters. And I wrote a list of names. I mean, it was probably about 15 names. And like every night, because that time I was drinking, I was smoking, like every night I would drink like a 12 pack and write these letters to whoever, whoever I thought deserved a suicide letter. And I tell you, after about the first week, I had about 9 letters. and each letter was over like 10 to 12 pages long. And I had like 15 more names, 15 more letters to write. And it finally clicked in my head. It was like, why am I going to kill myself? There are way too many people that love me. And that actually began my writing journey right there.
Still here, but I want the audience to focus on you. I'm still here. I just want you to focus on the words you were saying, because they were very powerful. Because what you're saying is you realize people loved you.
Yes.
And if you did commit suicide, all of those people would be hurt if you had done that.
Yes. So me coming to that realization, the suicide kind of went away, but the depression, the thoughts, all of that remained there. And I tell you, it was one night, and I just knew that I was going to do it. I had no one to turn to, and I talked to my friends enough that I could talk to them. Like, I had no one else to turn to. And it had been like 2:00 in the morning, and this spirit appeared before me. And I started talking to the spirit out loud, completely knowing that there's no one sitting in this chair. There's no one in front of me. Like when you were saying, when you was talking about the spirit, like, am I really talking to the spirit? Am I losing it, this, that, and the third? But I continued to talk to the spirit. And for the first 30 minutes, Raymond Goode, he was cocky. He was arrogant. I got everything going on. No wife, no girl, no kids. I got my car. I got my apartment. I got my home. Like, everything is straight. And then the last 30 minutes, I broke down and I cried. And I told the spirit every insecurity, every fear, everything that was inside of me. And at the end of this conversation, the spirit whispered one word. It said, go. And I mean, December 31st, 2010, I quit my 3 jobs at home and traveled to Chicago. And that's how the whole journey began.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. But then look at these epiphanies.
Yeah.
Your epiphany, my epiphany. And this is what I always tell people. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did.
Right.
No, I tell people that because my journey does not mean your journey.
Right. And the trials and tribulations that I went through, you know, someone else isn't going through the same trials and tribulations that I'm going to go through. Now, mine were extreme, as we'll talk about in a few minutes. Mine were very, very extreme. But if me living in a self-storage unit tells you that I need to study my book, or I need to apply for this class, or I need to do this for an extra hour, then I've done the job that I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I'm gonna jump in. You don't mind if I jump in, do you?
No. I want to get our audience involved. I'm looking at the list of people. They're chiming in and they're saying different things. So let me make sure we acknowledge the audience members. We have Jazzy. She says, hi, Auntie. Hi, pretty girl. This Jazzy lives in Atlanta. That's our beautiful niece. Then she said, hi, Uncle Oliver. Hi, sweetheart. And this is Richard Nichols. Hi, Richard. Richard says hi. He has another. He said, hi, Oliver, also. And Jazzy said, nice to meet you, to Raymond. And this is Trenda. Hi, Trenda. Hi, sweetheart. I tell you, I'm saying, and I call, there's some are here, they're called super fans. They're here every single week. And I'm so glad to see you guys. And she said, hi, Oliver, too. And then she says, hi, Director Goode. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Trenda. And then
when I was coming out of depression, what am I supposed to do? Now that I've heard the voice of the Lord, what is my purpose and passion still on planet Earth? Is that really my purpose and passion? So it just brought up a whole new list of questions, but there was a different list of questions that I was having than before I was going through the depression and suicide. So I started to mentally awaken.
Right. You know what? You probably know this. You know your story is similar to Tyler Perry's. That's what I'm listening. As I'm listening to you, and you said you were living out of a storage unit.
Yes.
How does that work?
The storage unit?
Yeah.
Well, obviously you're not supposed to be there.
That's my point. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. How does that work? When you can only stay, then they lock the whole place down. Then they got cameras. everywhere. How do you live in a storage? I'm like, wait a minute. So you couldn't.
So ultimately, when I went to Chicago, I literally, my car broke. See, you going all the way fast in the stuff. when I finally made it let's back up.
Okay, let's go to the beginning. Okay.
So my first book is called Traces of You. Now, after my suicidal phase, and as I was coming through my depression stage, Lord hit me with these questions. And I started interviewing people. I interviewed 50 people with 15 questions and turned their answers to marriage proposal stories.
Wow.
And I interviewed everyone from 16 to 82, black, white, Asian, gay, straight. Everybody has a story. So even to answer that question, even if I didn't love myself, me talking to other people about love was keeping me going.
Yes.
So after as I began writing Traces of You, and like I said, I interviewed 50 people, 15 questions, turned their answers to marriage proposal stories. Like, the stories are so different because when you interview so many people, the stories are so different, but they are in the love form. And the Lord said that's an Oprah crowd. So December 31st, 2010, I quit my 3 jobs at home, stepped out on faith, traveled to Chicago in hopes of meeting Oprah Winfrey before her show went off the air in Chicago. Within my first week, I had stepped on the nail and was waking up in the hospital in Pittsburgh. My car broke down in Indiana. And by the end of my first week, I was living in a self-storage unit in Chicago in one of the worst summers ever.
Wow.
My initial plan was at least get the car there, sleep in the car, move around. I didn't have any plan whatsoever, but at least my plan was to sleep in the car. When it broke down in Indiana, the sign said 90 miles to Chicago, or I don't know, I'm from Richmond, Virginia, or 1,000 miles back to the city. I said, if I get to Chicago, walk around, jump back on the bus and go back home, then boom, I got to at least get there.
Right.
So when I got there, I didn't have anywhere to go. And my friend suggested, he was like, well, why don't you stay in a self-storage unit? The only thing you need to do is sleep there. He said, if you're there for Oprah Winfrey, every part of your brain needs to be thinking about how you gonna meet her, what you're gonna do to meet her, this, that, and the third. So I rented a self-storage unit. I think the hours of operation was they closed the gate and locked the gate at 10 o'clock. So I had to be in before 10.
Right.
And then 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning is when that first staff come in. So I would wake up every morning at about 5:30, and I would leave. I got a Planet Fitness membership 24 hours.
Right.
So I would take the bus, Planet Fitness, and then stay in there, take a shower, work out. And I tell you, I had no idea what I'm doing. Just a week ago, between the 3 jobs that I had, I'm making $90,000 a year. My car is paid for, and I'm renting a house from my mama, so the house is pretty much paid for. And now I'm sleeping in a self-storage unit,
Wow.
So I say, Lord, what do I do? What am I doing here? Have I absolutely lost it? And the Lord said, make a poster board and stand outside of Harpo Studios every day with a poster board. So I'm in the gym, and I tell you, epiphanies, revelations. I'm in the gym. I got this big poster board, and I'm right. Homeless Project. What I'm doing here, I want to write a book because Traces of You hadn't came out yet, and I found out that me being in that corner, writing on that poster board, people would walk past me. They will look over my shoulder. They want to know what I'm doing, So that in my brain is already like, oh, this is already generating some kind of audience, So I'm standing outside of Harpo Studios, I think for maybe about a week, because I was there for about 6 months. And the lady in the high rise, like, she called the police on me. And and that made me realize that people were watching.
Yep.
People are watching. They couldn't do nothing because I'm on a public street, but people are watching. And that just made me get more excited. Call the police. What you do? You slam me on the ground. I'm calling the open name out 100 times.
But it got you. It got attention.
Yes. So I stayed there for 6 months. I stayed in the self-storage unit. I stayed in Chicago, and her show went off. I wasn't on the show, but then the Lord gave me my next biggest idea. So through their eyes, with every newspaper news story, a story that I heard personally, I put myself in the victim's shoes and I wrote their stories. The book has 45 short traumatic stories, and they all have critical thinking questions at the end of every story. So as I was going through as I was coming out of my depression, suicide, as I was living in the self-storage unit, as I started to listen to the Lord more, I realized I had the gift of listening to people.
Wow.
And that is a very big gift.
It
people
is.
need people to listen to. And random people would come up to me and just tell me their stories.
Wow.
And I tell you, I always tell this story because it's just so funny to me. So I sell my books hand to hand. I remember I'm on the streets all day long. I'm selling Traces of You. I'm tired. I'm sweating. I go into Popeyes. I order some chicken. I got TV on my phone. I'm ready to sit down and eat. And this white guy sits beside me. And he goes into this conversation about how he was molested at a very young age. Just really and all I'm thinking in my head is, can I eat my chicken? God dang! Can I eat my Jesus? Do I have to live with this right now? What?
Oh my God.
Get away! But people need to talk, and they need someone to listen to them. And as he told me his story, and when he left, because one thing I realized about through their eyes and listening to people's story, when people come up and tell you their story, sometimes they don't want your sympathy, they don't want your empathy, they want to tell you their story, you shut up and they keep going.
Yeah.
Some people want that. Some people want that right there. So, whether I offer words of encouragement, wisdom, or whether I just shut up, I let that be to the Lord. But their stories stuck with me.
Wow.
And particularly me walking outside of Popeye, that stories with me. Me going back to the self-storage unit, stories with me. And it's with me so much that I have to write their stories out. And then once I write their stories out in its fullest, then that spirit is gone. And Raymond Goode can finally come back.
Wow. In that time, you became the victim.
Yes.
You embodied what the victim was feeling and everything to write their story.
I become the victim. I say that very, very seriously, because if I don't talk about a female that's been molested, I become the female that the guy put the hand over his mouth. The guy forced my legs open. He rips that's what through their eyes is. That's why it's so deep. Their stories, they become me. Yeah. And because I'm an empath, because I absorb everybody's spirit, and until I write their stories out, they will stick with me. And if I don't write it out, I don't want to have those kind of thoughts going through my head all day.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I have to get it out.
Right.
So once their stories are out, then Raymond will come back. You see all of this, but I have to get their stories out.
So these people just came. Okay, you talked about the one man. How did you get the other 40 some odd stories?
That's exactly how every one of my stories came to me.
Wow.
I have never in my life walked up to somebody and said, tell me the most traumatic thing that's happened to you in your life. I have never done that. All of these stories come to me, and they may come to me when they find out that I'm an author. So maybe they feel like, hey, you're an author, I can tell you my story. But I tell you, 95% of the stories that I hear from people, I hear them say, I don't know why I'm so comfortable with telling you all this, but I feel comfortable with telling you. And I said, thank you for telling me.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing to me that all of these were strangers to you.
Yes.
And they're telling you, they're coming. I can't, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had one person tell me a story. Not anything traumatic. No, not one.
And that's why through their eyes, it's so authentic and it's so true. And I hear people say, well, I've heard one or two, well, maybe you could take a creative point and write the endings to tell the audience what happened to that person. I don't know what happened to that person.
Wow.
I don't know if their situation got absorbed. I know none of it. I know the story that they told me. And when they was finished telling their story, they was done with me.
But then see now there's stories in a book.
Exactly.
It is somewhere that it can be read. It's not just in their head anymore.
Absolutely.
And before they were just living it, and there was no place for it. But I can almost guarantee they didn't know you were going to write it.
Oh no, they didn't. They and name, of course, names and certain situations have been changed for creative. Right. I mean, because some people. Yeah. So those were my first 3 books. Tracy of You, I don't have. So now this was all in 2010. Okay.
Wow.
So 3 books in about 9 months, because when the Lord hit, the Lord was. So the Lord said, you need to have 4 books out in 1 year. I said, well, okay, Lord, what do I do next? How to write and print your own book for under $300.
Wow. That's huge.
So
that's huge.
So out of all of my books, this is my for one, this is my cheapest book. Knowledge is power 100%. But I say that writing saved my life. So if writing can save someone else's life for $5, hey, here you go. Let me show you how to do it. Let me show you the magic. And I can tell you now, this book has not only made people become authors. I know over 200 Black publishing companies that use the steps in this book, went downtown, become LLC. Now they can start publishing other people's books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And for those of you that don't know what LLC is, it's a limited liability corporation, which usually means it's a sole proprietor of one person. And the reason you become an LLC, and I'm sure you already know this, is you're protecting yourself from the public. You're saying, if you want to sue me, you have to sue the company. You can't sue me. Right. And that protects your assets. Because I have LLC, front page publishing is an LLC. That's the reason. Because you're not suing me. But I can tell you what number one, I'm not a lawyer. Let me say that. I always have to have a disclaimer in there because people will say, well, she said that on the show. I did say that on the show, but I'm not a lawyer. Whatever you're doing legally, I always say, seek the advice of an attorney. Just for, I think it's like $50, maybe $60. You can go to the lawyer referral service and get 1 hour of a lawyer's time for $60. And I know because I've done it. So I would encourage anybody, if you need a legal background, I always have to throw my disclaimer in there because it protects me, by the way. So that's why I do it. But I would definitely be buying your books. Just know that.
So then I tell you, I had wrote 4 books. Raymond Goode was good. I could promote these books. I'm not even thinking about writing another book. And I hear, I'm in New York. I hear that Mr. Steve Harvey is doing a book signing at some special event, Okay. So I go to the event, but you had to have bought a book to have gotten into the event. I didn't know that until I got there.
Right.
But I'm looking like this. I'm looking astute. I got my brown satchel. So I walk right up to the front door, eyes focused, and walk right in. So,
wow.
I'm a big guy. I'm looking astute. So then, they have this barrier. A barrier and Steve Harvey is on the other side, kind of probably about 10, 15 yards where he's doing the book signing. And I remember I text my mom and I text my best friend. I said, get the bail money because I might be going to jail today.
Oh my gosh.
So I text them, and then I put my hand on the barrier because I'm about to jump over.
What?
And I remember the first words I said, Lord, give me strength. And as soon as I said them words, the barriers opened up, and about 5 or 6 white people started walking in. Boom! I just walked in with them.
Oh my goodness!
So now I tell you, I get right behind Steve Harvey. I mean, I'm right behind him, but now I have no idea what I'm doing. What do I do? So since I'm prior military, I jump into parade rest. I'm hands behind my back, look straight forward, eyes look straight forward. To the point in fact that I look like a Mr. Harvey's security guard, you know?
Yeah.
So now I see Mr. Harvey's security guard looking at me, but they thinking I'm the store security. And I see the store security looking at me, and they thinking I'm Steve Harvey's security. So I'm standing here. I promise you, I'm standing here for about a good 40 minutes. And then finally, one of Steve Harvey's real security, or one of his homeboys, he came to me like, what are you doing? Are you security? What are you doing here? And I can't lie. I'm not a liar. I'm like, I'm an author. I want to show Steve Harvey my books. I don't know what I'm doing. He said, sit down. I give you some minutes at the end of the show, at the end of his book signing, to talk to him. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. I think the book signing is for like 2 hours. I mean, I never move. Like I'm studious at this point.
Yes.
So then it's my time to talk to Steve Harvey. And I go with my books like Traces of You. I interviewed 50 people with 15 questions, turned their answer marriage proposal story. Road to Oprah, faith-based journey, stepped out on faith, put my 3 jobs at home. Through their eyes with every newspaper news story I seen, I put into a book. And I said, I'm a leader. And he said, you're a leader of what? Mm-hmm. And whether I had nothing to say to him or the Lord said, shut up, Raymond, stop talking. When the Lord says shut up, you shut up. Because you end up looking like a fool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I shut up. And then Mr. Harvey's security, he put his hand on the table. He's like, all right, that's enough, Mr. Goode, that's enough. Steve Harvey said, no. You let this young man talk. He has something to say. So he says, how many goals do you have, young man? I said, I have at least 10 goals. He said, you go home, you write down 350 goals, and then you come back and see me. I said, okay, okay. So I'm walking away from that meet, and I'm feeling halfway defeated because in my brain, I'm like, you supposed to say I'm the best thing you ever met. You'll put me on the show next week. But I'm thinking about, okay, you stumped me on 200. You stumped me on 2 questions. 350 goals. Leadership. 350 goals. Leadership. 350 goals of a leader. The title came right then and there.
Wow.
The title came right then and there.
I love it. Oh.
And then he says your talent. He said your talent is your gift. Your talent and your gift is something you do with the least amount of effort. And mine was books. Because at first I'm like, I'm gonna write 350 goals in a journal. Next time I see you, gonna have all these journals with this, that, and the third. But Raymond, your talent is books. So let's just turn it into a book. So my 5th book right now, 350 Goals of a Leader, with the dedication to Mr. Steve Harvey. And one last thing. Hold on. One last thing. So how I saw it, my first 4 books that I just described, those are walls. They're walls. With 350 Goals of a Leader, I have a floor and I have a foundation. Everything bounds off of this foundation. I only had walls. Steve Harvey gave me a floor. I got a foundation.
Wow. I want to tell you, we have comments from the audience. People have been chiming in, and I haven't even. In audience, I'm not ignoring you because I saw. Okay, first I saw Jazzy, I'm telling you, they are enjoying you. They're like, this is truly a blessing to know and to have those who care. That's from Jazzy. Just so you know, that's it, and that's coming straight from Atlanta. Then I saw Trenda. Did I get your comment, Trenda? I could have. I think I did. I think I already put it up, but that's okay. And it says, wow, this is powerful after you realize and understood that there are people who love you, and that you allow that to begin to love yourself. And I believe Raymond answered that. So thank you again, Trenda. And then we have another comment. There's other comments coming in just as we're answering these. Jazzy, your comment, sweetheart, is we all have our own path to stay strong.
Yes.
And that's a fact. We do. So and you know what, you have to, this is what I think Raymond would agree. Nobody can do this for you. This path that he's, like he said, he had to walk it himself. The fact that you got that close to Steve Harvey, and she says, amen to that.
Amen to that.
Itself, think about this. A lot of people, they would have put them handcuffs on you nowadays. They wouldn't let you get that close to him because they don't know if you're going to do harm to him.
Right.
Jazzy says, it's always good to know that those above are always watching over you and keeping you safe, along with those who are right there beside you.
Thank you.
By your side.
Thank you, because I don't take for granted that at any point in time, I mean, I'm in Chicago, I'm in the hood. Any stray bullet could have taken me out. I don't take anything for granted, but the Lord protected me. The Lord has protected me. The Lord is protecting me. And I mean, I stepped out in his faith.
Right.
You know, this ain't the Lord is protecting me. Lord, you better protect me. You told me to walk this path. You better clear some lanes out here, homie. You better clear a lane or two.
You said, okay, Lord, I'm here because of you. Yeah, that's what you're really saying. And you're just calling God to task. And he says, what does he say? That his word, you have to call him out on his word. That's what you're really doing. It's saying, this is your word. This is not my walk. This is your walk.
Amen.
And our executive producer, Oliver, says, hi, Raymond. Thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you taking this time to express your thoughts, to leading you to your books. Also, thanks to our repeat audience. So thank you. Hi, babe. Remember I told you he's in the background. Oliver, he's right there, ladies and gentlemen. And then comment. This is Trenda. Trenda says, yes, an empath. I am too.
All righty.
Oh, all right, Trenda. All right.
You as an empath, you just make sure you know how to, get everybody else spirits off of you so you can focus and concentrate on you.
She says, no, not the jailhouse. That's what Trenda. I can't get over that either when he said that, called him, told him, just get the bail money ready. I'm like, didn't even come to that. And Jazzy says, this is truly amazing. I can tell you guys, I'm sitting up here in awe because everybody has a story. Ladies and gentlemen, I think without a doubt, and I'm pretty sure Raymond would agree, it's not that we don't have stories. People don't take the time to write them down. And the only thing is, I keep telling people, and it's true, that story will unfortunately go in the graveyard with you unless you write it down.
Right.
You got to write. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can tell it the way you're going to tell it. You have to do this. But it is so worth it, especially with the book, to do it for $300.
Yes.
That is huge.
And if you do it no more than to express yourself and get those feelings and emotions out on paper for yourself, if it goes nowhere. When I was writing my suicide letters, I tell you, I mean, it would start off like, I hate you for what you did to me, how you treated me, this, that, and the third. And then by the end of the letter, I still appreciate what you did for me, some of the things. So, and these letters never went anywhere, but they allowed me to breathe and get it out.
So you never sent those letters out?
I don't even know what happened to those letters.
Wow.
I don't even know. But they was more or less for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with people, you know, we have this thing inside of it. I mean, if you're a friend, I can't say I hate you for what you did, this, that, and the third. But on paper, I can.
Yeah.
Because no one in the world has to see that. So I took the paper for it. So if a person only expresses on paperwork for themselves, please get it out. That's why when someone asks me advice on how to get it out, I go back to write and print. Because at the end of the day, you know how much it is to start your writing journey? $3. $1 for a pen and a journal from the dollar store. You're already a writer. $3, you're already a writer. A journal and a pen, and you're already a writer.
That's right. And really, they'll tell you from the moment you write it, it's copywritten. But I don't go with that. I go with the government and do the copyright because I want to make sure but truthfully, they will say from the moment you write something, it's copywritten. I don't trust that. I go with I just pay them.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself because people 100%. They will steal your stuff.
They will steal it. They will steal it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so you gotta really protect it.
So about 7-8 years ago, so Through Their Eyes is also my stage play, which is, I mean, it's traveled over 17 cities and 13 states, and just getting to California. I've only been to California for 6 months now. So just to recap, Through Their Eyes, with every newspaper news story, a story that I heard personally, I put myself in the victim's shoes and wrote their stories. My stage play, I've taken several of the traumatic stories out of the book and put it on stage. There's a live band, a dancer, a musician that performs between each monologue. And I work with painters across the U.S. that correlate with the stories as well. So it brings all of the creative talents together for one emotional effect. Bam! Now, here's the exciting part. Wait a minute, because there's more. So here's the exciting part. So what I do, and it's never been done in the world before, that's why I'm so excited about Through Their Eyes. What I do is called the Still Life Art Gallery. It's where I take an empty room. Let's say I put 3 pictures on one side, 3 pictures on the other side. I decorate the scene where trauma has taken place at, and then the actors work through a series of master poses. So when you walk into the gallery, you're walking around, taking pictures, they're working through these master poses. And when the show begins, story comes to life, song dance, story comes to life, song dance, till it goes around the entire room.
Wow. Now when do you do that?
We working on doing it again. Here in California.
You gotta keep us posted because Oliver, we love things like this.
Definitely.
And we love theater, museums, art galleries, all of that.
Yes. And when I did it in because I believe in Black excellence.
Oh, so do we.
Oh, sure. I believe in Black excellence. So when I did it, because I did it for this event called Dream Week in San Antonio for the last 4 years. So in between every monologue, I will have an usher come out with hors d'oeuvres on the plate, some wine on the platter, walk around and pass it to you, little napkin over their arms, Black excellence.
I love it. Please keep us in the loop because I can send it out to let other people know that it's going on.
Definitely.
Well, I know this is going back a little ways though.
Come on.
What made you become a servant? That is really, everything you've done has been serving others. What was that your mother that led you into that? I don't know. Where are you and your family and the siblings? Are you the oldest, the middle, the youngest, that kind of thing?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
My mother passed away 1 month before I moved to California. But it's everything that she instilled in me that has kept me going for the last 17 years. When you see me smiling, when you see the love, when you see the passion, it's my mother exuberant out everything she put in me. And I've always said with whatever I do, wherever I go, however I'm living, if I can make my mother happy, then I'm doing everything right for the world. If my mother is happy with me doing it, like if I was a rapper and I was talking about B's and H's and I'm killing my mother wouldn't be happy. That's not something I can put into the universe.
Right.
So
and I'm you know that
happy with what I'm doing, then I know I'm doing something 100% right.
Oh, that's a blessing right there. But I agree with you. We do not have to mistreat to create art. You don't have to, like you said, call everybody bees and this and that.
Right.
It's not even necessary. I don't think it is either. I agree. We have another one of our super fans. Her name is Dr. Victoria Rice. Hi, Dr. Victoria. Hello. She says to me and Oliver and to you, Mr. Goode. So Victoria's in the house. And then I see Trenda says something too. Let's see, Trenda. I want to make sure your comment. It says, thank you for saying that, Director Goode. I do struggle with getting people off me so I can focus. I'm working on that. Yeah. It's not easy. I think anytime you're creative, it's just not easy. I didn't even know I was a creative. Let me just say that now. I didn't find out I was a creative until I wrote my first book. And even then I was shocked that I wrote the book. And that was in 2016 or 17, something like that. So just finding out I was a creative was a shock to me. I was like, oh, I can create a book. I can do that. But I'll be honest, I don't know how to do it for $300. So I'm gonna have to get your book.
Miss Linda, people will pull from you. They will pull your light. They will pull your light and don't even know that they're pulling your light. And you would think that you're supposed to give them light and give them too much light, and it will bring you down. You got to learn how to block people off. Turn off your phone for 2 days. I tell you what I'm actually learning now, and this is like in the last week, the power of saying no.
Now you need to read my book now. I wrote the book. It's Saying No Nicely. It's the name of the book.
Right.
And I don't have a book near me, which is hard to believe. Normally I do. Do I have one? No. I always have. I just didn't put one near me today. But seriously, it's up on Amazon. And when I learned to say no nicely, because for women, we don't want to say no because we don't want to be called the B word. So we say yes when we really want to say no. But before I go on, I want to get Trenda's comment. Trenda says she's going to the dollar store now to get her pen and her notebook.
You're right already. Who's up?
Trenda said, I'm going to get that right now. I'm going to be that writer. I know that's right, girl. You can do it. It says, that's what Victoria said she's going to.
And listen to me. It's so much fun. If you go somewhere and sit it right, if you go to, let's say you're at the mall and you sit down and you just start writing, you'll notice people walking close to you. You'll notice people want to know what you're writing. You'll notice that people want to, they want to know. It's like someone with a football. If you see somebody walking around with a football or soccer ball, you're like, oh, instantly, we play football with linebacker, quarterback, whatever. If you start taking a journal and wherever you go to a comedy club and you put out a journal and just start writing, you'll notice how people start taking notice of you because they want to know what you're writing. So you become very, very interesting to other people.
It's true. And then Jazzy says it's important to refocus on yourself so that you can go far in life.
Absolutely.
Right, Jazzy. And then I want to make sure, and Trenda says, she goes, yes. She goes, what did she say, Trenda? He goes, I just started doing that.
Yeah.
And I think you learn how to do that because out of necessity, if you want to get something done, is that you have to have time to yourself. You have to.
When I first began my journey, I learned the power of yes. So I've been saying yes for so long, which is fine because I needed to because I didn't have any direction. Yes, I'm going to stand in front of Harpo Studios. Yes, I'm going to go to Tyler Perry. Yes, you invite me somewhere. Yes, I'm coming. And that's got me to the level where I'm at. But in order for me to go forward, now I need to know the power of no.
And that's what Oliver brought the book so I can put.
Come on, Oliver.
Oliver did. He brought it in here. He said, "Here's your book."
I'm, I'm,
Yeah.
Oliver name that came up more time in these comments than my name did, Oliver.
He just came in just now and brought it to me. So I want to share this because this book started out 78 pages. In the end, it's 36 pages. You can read it in a half hour. Let me say that. 30 minutes and you're done. But you learn how to say no nicely. And the saying no is a complete sentence. We act like no is like this is what a lot of people, and I was guilty of this too. We say no, and then we tell the person why we saying no. Well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, ladies and gentlemen. You could just say no. You see, I did that pause.
It almost sounds crazy.
You can say no, and that's it. That's it. We have this thing. I was guilty of it. I got to tell you why I'm saying no. Before you know it, you done talked yourself into saying yes. I learned these things. And the truth is, when you say no, you put that pause in there. Because that's what makes no powerful. Not no and keep talking. And you can say no nicely. Just say no quietly. You don't have to get all up in people's face and say no. But when you say it, you have to mean it. That's what I think is missing. Is that meaning it part. But anyway, let's get back. I want to make sure.
You talking to my soul right now. Don't just say anyway. You talking. I just told you. I recently, in the last 2 to 3 days, started using the power of no. So listening to you, you're helping me use the word because I'm so used to saying yes. So yeah.
I'll even give you. This is in the book.
Okay.
Actually, I'm giving away some of my jewels in the book, but I always feel like I'm always giving something to the community. One of mine, what I really like is, thank you for asking. I really do appreciate it, but I can't do that right now. Now, I said all of that. I never used the word no, but I did it so nicely. The person feels heard. They feel appreciated. Their feelings aren't hurt, but you still said no. That's the one I truly love. I would tell anybody, you have to learn. If you're going to survive in this world, you must learn how to say the word no. You must. There is no other way. You cannot survive in this world saying yes to everything. You'll go drive yourself crazy. That's the facts.
Amen. Amen. So
but I want to give you a chance because we're almost, the show's coming to a close.
I know. I'm so no. We just getting started. What are we?
What we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back for a part 2 with Raymond next week. Raymond has agreed to come in for a part 2 because I knew before we even came on today. This was gonna be one of them. We can't do it all in one. We got to go for a part 2. So, but as we wrap up part 1, did you have any final words you want to share with our audience?
Yes. Until you get me the going woman, you get me. I mean, for one, writing saved me, so I'm always going to encourage other people to write. Just keep going, keep moving forward. The Lord has a vision for each and every last one of us. I mean, some of us get off track and get on path, but that vision is still there. Follow me.
Yes.
Follow me.
So your social media is Instagram at Raymond D. Goode. That's Instagram.
It's just Raymond Goode. Raymond Goode, Instagram, Raymond Goode, Facebook. You can inbox me if you like to get a copy of one of my books. I sell them through my Instagram and Facebook pages. So I get all of the money. I can teach about entrepreneurship. Yeah. I've been in California for 6 months now. Since I stepped out on faith, December 31st, 2010, it's been 17 cities, 13 states, 400,000 books sold independently. I have followers from all across America.
Wow.
We're waiting for my stage play to come. I have actors coming from all across America. just want to be a part of it because it's so life-changing. They believe in the vision. I am currently writing a compilation book for NCNW with Miss Mary D. Welsh is a part of. She just submitted her story today. So you got to make sure you pick up that book as well. We have so much. Look, I tell you, we have so wait. I know you got to go. I know. Listen to me. Look, because the Lord revealed to me probably about 2 months ago. He was like, "Hey, it's June and July. Everybody shines in the summertime. Let them shine. But now that August didn't hit, well now, let's see who survived during the cold months now. So we got a lot to talk about on part 2 next week because I'm warming up."
Well, I can tell you, I want to just definitely tell you, thank you. You have, I just the laughter, but sharing the experiences, sharing your books, sharing your talent with all of us. When you do the stage play, you have to let us know. We would like to, I even have some of the cast come on. They can come back and talk about before you go on or after you go on, but definitely want to have your cast members on too. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been very blessed to have cast members on, directors on, producers on, because what people don't realize, ladies and gentlemen, they're just like you and me. Every single person that's a producer, an actor, or what they call talent, they're not called actors, but talent, they started somewhere. If you have a dream, I think without a doubt, Raymond would agree, you have to pursue it. Because what happens is the dream is pursuing you. Let's look at Tyler Perry was homeless. Think about this. And now is he a billionaire or close to a billionaire?
Yes.
Think about he would wash dishes to get enough money to put his play on. This is Tyler, the man we know now is Tyler Perry. He'll tell you he didn't start. It wasn't like somebody gave him a lot, but he started with what he had. And he started where he was.
Yes.
So if you have a dream, whatever that dream is, please pursue it because we only have one life. We don't get to come back, not that we know of. We don't get to come back. So you want to live your life, do whatever it is that's in your heart to do. I definitely encourage anybody here to write. And I agree with what Raymond said. Go to Dollar Tree, get a notebook, whatever. Whatever it is, but write it down, ladies. Get it out. Put it on paper. Type it up. Get it. And like you said, his book is for $300. You can get a book. Write your book and get it published for $300. Are you kidding?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's just unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So I want to make sure we know that.
Can I give a special shout out before I get off?
You can.
Mr. Oliver. I am so thankful for you seeing me that day. As soon as he saw me, he instantly brung you up. He said, "Oh, we need to get my wife over here." I mean, he probably just stayed in the background just listening while I spoke to you the entire time. He was the one that suggested to you to have me on your show. So without Mr. Oliver,
he did.
I appreciate you, sir.
Oh, and he can hear you. He's watching, as I said before. But he did. He brought me over to the table. He said, I need you. He just told me, he said, you need to talk to him. You need to talk to him. He was very clear about, for us to make that connection. So, babe, thank you for that. And we are definitely, we're over, but not by a lot. But I just want to thank you, Raymond, for coming on today. You're going to be back for part 2 next week because, like you said, we have a lot to still unpack. But I just want to thank you for all that you do, all that you've done, and all that you're doing in the arts. You are going far, my brother. My prayers are with you. Keep up the work, and God bless you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. That's our show for today. Thank you for being here. We'll be back next Monday, and we will have Raymond back for this part 2. So you can come back and have fun with us. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a week. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.